Now, on the economy, we heard from Stephen Kennedy, Dr Kennedy, again, as is the normal practice at National Cabinet, where we're able to brief on Tuesday's announcement on the JobKeeper and JobSeeker, and of course the economic statement that was released yesterday, and the Treasurer will be speaking to at the National Press Club very shortly. Those measures have been greatly appreciated by the states and territories. Combined with our health response, the Commonwealth's balance sheet and direct fiscal measures now is in excess of $300 billion. The state's response, which builds on top of that, is around $42 billion. And so there is a strong platform for states to take additional economic measures where they see the opportunity to do that. And this very, very significant platform of fiscal support and balance sheet support that the Commonwealth has provided enables every extra dollar they spend at a state level to go that much further. We also agreed today, and I think this demonstrates just how effective the National Cabinet is, not just directly on the health measures, but today we agreed to fast-track processes for those 15 major projects I spoke to some weeks ago. There's some 66,000 jobs in those 15 projects, and they're worth about $72 billion in economic activity. So 15 major projects agreed for streamlined approvals processes to get these happening as soon as possible. It was also agreed amongst all the states and territories to move to a single-touch process under the EPBC Act, and that we would now be moving to deal directly for interim standards with some model jurisdictions and forming bilateral agreements with all states and territories to action that agreement. 7 out of 8 states have also signed up to the skills agreement, the job trainer agreement, and we welcome that, and that has moved very quickly in the last week or so. And the final point that was made in Dr Kennedy's briefing, and I'll pass on to Professor Kelly, is in relation to our goal when it comes to jobs. Our goal is to create jobs and to reduce the effective rate of unemployment. Now, I know there's been quite a bit of commentary, and the Treasurer has addressed this also, and I'm sure will do so more so in his presentation today. I can understand that Australians would be concerned, rightly, about seeing the measured rate, the headline rate of unemployment set where it is in the forecasts that have been released by Treasury. What the headline rate or the measured rate of unemployment doesn't take into account is changes in labour force, people who are on effectively 0 hours. What the effective rate of unemployment does is it does take that into account. And one of the key differences in this pandemic is the quite significant gap that exists between your effective rate of unemployment and your measured or headline rate of unemployment. And I would urge, because I can assure you, that's the figure I'm looking at, because the effective rate of unemployment means who's got a job and who's working and who's getting paid. That's what it means. And that's what we have to focus on. And so while the headline rate of unemployment has been moving up and is expected to continue to move up, the effective rate of unemployment back in April was around 15%. It fell to 13.9% in May, and it fell to 11.3% in June. That shows the improvement in the labour market. You will see a difference between the movement in the effective rate of unemployment and the measured rate of unemployment. And that's what Dr Kennedy was briefing the Premiers and the Chief Ministers on today. So our goal is to see that effective rate come down. And we've said right from the outset, the Treasurer and I, when we talked about the figures on the headline rate some months ago, we know that rate was higher. And so we've done the work to actually assess that and identify it. And they're the figures that I've referred to. So